Welcome to the Point 101. I'm your host, Gail, and today we're diving deep into a topic that touches the heart of every parent and guardian: God's promises for our children. Join me. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's Sledge here. Sweetness is having a little difficulties on his end. Hi, Michelle. Guys, look at his baby. You forgot to mute your camera. Look at his baby. They're his baby. That's why I said if you take him, you're going to have to send him back because he ain't mine to give. This is the reason why I said it. Look at Sweet Lips. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him looking crazy and simple. Oh, and all he can do is smile. Oh, look at them. But Sweet Lips is here. You can't hear him. You can see him. And so you're just going to have to deal with what you see. Sweet Lips, hit your stop camera so you're not standing there looking crazy. There you go. So y'all going to have to take that part, all right? And pretend that look at that. If he hits his stop camera, then he goes off. If he tries to come off of mute, you guys are going to get what you get tonight, okay? And so look, I will just read a little bit and Sweet Lips will be in and out. Now that you see that we are having technical difficulties, but nevertheless, we are going to go ahead and get some reading done, okay? So that we're not playing catch up. Poor little Tink Tink. But so this here chapter is called allowance, okay? Allowance, allowance, allowance. Some think that we should not give our kids a little stipend. I don't want to say pay them. And some people think that we should. And so we are going to take a look at what some of the experts think, okay? Again, we're having a little technical difficulties tonight, and we're going to get this reading out of the way so that we're not playing catch up. It is what it is, folks, and this is what happens when you come live, okay? It is what it is. Sometimes you go through this, sometimes you don't. And tonight is one of those nights. But, and I see he's still there trying to figure it all out. But just one second, I'm just trying to take a peek at his messages while I'm actually speaking to you all. But like I said, we're going to get around this, okay? So, should I give my children allowances for their chores? The chores are the chores, the chores. Let's figure it out. Now, understanding your child, yourself, and the situation. Allowances give children opportunity to learn many valuable lessons about money. The more children understand about earning, saving, and managing their money, the less likely they are in the future to solve their money problems through tantrums, begging, stealing, selling drugs, or borrowing from you and making promises they never keep to pay you back. So, in the long run, what does that tell us? That it's okay. It's okay to give them allowances. To me, I just believe that it worked. It worked for me until I realized that there's no such thing as can you give me the money now and I will do the work later. That just does not work, okay? Then you find yourself realizing that they don't know what it is to, no, I'm not going to say they don't know what it is. They know what it is, but they have learned how to manipulate the situation. And that is just for the weak parents, okay? Such as myself that did not know how to just say, no, you do the work now and you get paid at the end of the week. So Let me just put that out there also. Now, the amount you give, the amount you give them should depend on your budget. If the money is used for punishment or reward, the lesson will be negative because that creates an arena for power struggles, revenge, and manipulation. The lessons are positive when children are allowed to have regular, unchanging allowances so they can learn life skills. Chores are a separate issue and should not be connected to an allowance. Whoa. Now that's a biggie right there. Chores should not be it should not be connected to an allowance. So basically, what are we reading here? What am I reading here? We're really not paying them for their chores. Let's just read on and let's see what this says. Suggestions. Do not rescue your children when they run out of money. Learn to say no with dignity and respect when they try to con you into giving them more money after they make the mistakes with their money. Say, I know it's upsetting and hard to wait when you run out of money, but allowance day is Saturday. Hear that. And all this time I've been giving money for allowance. That's probably why they were just sitting over there taking advantage, talking about I'll do it. And I'll tell you, look at here. We're gonna live and learn together. Okay, we're gonna live and it's already gone for me, and my days are done. But for the rest of you out there that have children, um, you will know. Do not negotiate money with your child for cleaning up. But let's just keep on reading because I don't want to draw any assumptions before I even get to the part. Offer your services as a budgeting consultant, but do not give advice unless asked. Help your children explore what happened, what caused it to happen, what they learned from it, and how they will use this information in the future. This is effective only if they agree to explore the consequences of their choices and only if you are truly curious about their perceptions. It is not effective to try disguising a lecture in the name of exploration. You may choose to offer your children a loan when they run out of money and discuss the terms of how they will pay it back. This is not the same as rescuing. Show them how to set up a payment plan and agree together on an amount. You can deduct this from their allowance. Do not make the amount so high your child won't be able to manage during the week. Another possibility is to make a list of special jobs to earn money for extra items or to help pay back their loan. Don't make new loans until the first loan is prepaid. Oh, let me tell you something. And in today's world, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense because we as adults know when we're out there using credit cards and all of this kind of traps that when you don't have it, it can ruin everything else for you later. And that we know. And so, yeah, do not give them more than what they can pay back because we are all learning that ourselves. If you don't have it, then do without. My goodness. Now, planning ahead to prevent future problems. During family meetings, have periodic discussions about money where you share some of your mistakes with money and what you've learned without lecturing. You hear that without giving a lecture. And we know a lot of times because we parent and we think that we know it all and we're always right, that we tend to not explain something, but it is a long, drawn out lecture. Let's get past that, okay? Allow others to do the same. Create a sense of fun so everyone can laugh while they learn. For ages 2 to 4, give children 10 pennies, a nickel, and a dime, and a piggy bank. For each year, add a few more penny, nickel, dimes, and even quarters. Kids like putting money in the piggy bank and are starting to save, have their start a saving habit before they know it. Huh. Okay, I can see that. For ages 4 to 6, take your child and the piggy bank to a big bank and open a savings account. Every 1 to 3 months, take your child to the bank to make a deposit. And this is for the 4 to 6 year olds. It can be fun to watch the balance grow in the bank book. This might inspire parents to get excited about developing the saving habit themselves if they haven't already done so. And I can just imagine the little smiles on their faces when you're taking them to the bank, and 4 and 5, they really think that they're doing something real big. So I can see that, and that would start them up with a savings account going into their teenage years where they're going to need that money the most. Now, help your children start a wish list of things they would like to save money for. They could have a separate piggy bank for wish list savings. Because all of this makes sense. It makes sense. Whenever you are shopping and say, can I have this? And this is what they will say to you. And they'll always have, their middle name, as we used to say, is can I have and give me. Now, would you like to add this to your wish list and save your money for it? It is seldom that they want the item enough to save their money for it, but they want it enough for you to spend your money right now. You can even offer to pay half if they will save half. It is amazing how many shopping hassles stop when you are kind and firm in your offer. And you know what? I know that we have all seen this sideshow when you walk into a store and a child is in there throwing a tantrum and screaming and knocking things off of shelves and pulling the parent's hair and just, and sometimes you just be thinking like, well, is that person kidnapping a child? Is that the mother? And to me, this will avoid that. If you teach them early, hey, here's a quarter, dimes, and nickel, put it away. And you can start a separate savings for your wish list and call it the wish list. And that way, that gives them a little more responsibility, and they're eager to save. They should be, so that they can get what they want. That makes sense to me. Now, for ages 6 to 14, schedule a planning session with your child for you to decide together how much money he needs and how it should be allocated for savings. Weekly needs such as lunches and fun. You might also encourage your child to save money to give to community organizations and those in need. And a lot of times, some of us, that's not even on our minds, but looking at it now makes a lot of sense. It takes away that act of selfishness, that me, 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 me. And some kids just love it because, they feel that joy. They just feel like they're doing something so big and so special. And when it's all said and done, they are. They're learning how to give back. And a lot of people, they take their children to the food closets. The churches have little giveaways. You can include them in that. Oh man, these are wonderful ideas. Now, set of guidelines such as allowances will be given only once a week during family meeting time. If you run out before then, you have an opportunity to learn what that feels like and what to do about it. It's such as go without or find a job to earn extra money. And that is so true. That will teach your child how to manage and not be in the position that sometimes we as parents are in when we ourselves mismanage our monies, and then suddenly we're short on food, we're short on gas, we're short on the bills. So, you know, when it's all said and done, have some sympathy because you know what it's like already. Now, set up periodic times once a year or every 6 months when an allowance can be raised based on a child's thoughtful presentation of greater need. Some families raise the allowance of all the children on every child's birthday. For ages 14 to 18, add a clothing allowance so teenagers can learn how to plan. Children who learn to handle money from an early age can handle a clothing allowance much sooner. In the beginning, instead of giving them money, tell them the total amount they can spend on clothing. Then deduct their purchases from a running total that you keep. They quickly find out that if they spend too much on a few items of clothing, they don't have enough money left for an adequate wardrobe. The clothing allowance can be given monthly, quarterly, or twice a year. And if your child is doing good in school and maintaining their grades, really from 14 to 18 years old, and I'm just saying, and this is what I truly believe, they should have jobs, part-time jobs, because 18 is the starting of adulthood. And, you know, to me, and this is just me speaking from myself, saying that here's a little bit of money for clothing, really from 14 on, those clothes are so expensive. So it would make sense to have them get a job, a summer job, an after school job, instead of you saying, you know, here's clothing money. We all know the price of clothes. And we know from 14 to 18 years old, trying to say here's $50 or $60, that's just not going to work. That's just my idea, okay? So I'm adding as I go. So, life skills children can learn. When you start your children on the allowance, they have the opportunity to learn how to earn money, spend what they have instead of going into debt, pay their bills on time, save for what is important to them, pay back loans, and feel a sense of power that comes from knowing they are on top of their finances. Only if someone had told me this. Only. Thank God I passed half of the skills down to my children. Now, children develop their judgment skills by making good or poor decisions about money and learning from the consequences of their choices without punishment or humiliation. You hear that? Without punishment or humiliation. Again, positive discipline. Positive. They already knew. They know, oh, I spent too much. And now I can't get this. Like, yeah, they're pouty. Faces are long, eyes looking like they haven't slept in a long time, or they look like they just seen a ghost because they can't believe you finally said no, but they will learn. Now, parenting pointers. Using money for punishment or reward is a short-term solution. Giving allowances as an opportunity to teach children about money is a long-range parenting that leaves children with life skills. If you don't have skills in managing money, you need to find resources to help you learn so you can teach your children. Chores without wars. This is all making sense. This is all making a lot of sense. So that is the allowance part. That is the allowance. So we're not going to attach chores to allowances, okay? And so tomorrow, hopefully, oh, Sweet Lips will have it. Okay, now let me get read this a booster thought. Okay, so one father says, when my daughter rushes up to me and say, "Dad, I need some designer jeans," I have learned to say, "Listen, kiddo, I got into this business to cover your body, not decorate it. And I can do that for $25 to $30 at many department stores. What you need is modesty, and what you want is style. The difference will require some contribution on your part because I have a lot of other pleasures and issues concerning finances to deal with. There was a time in America when children wore jeans because parents were poor. Now, parents are poor because children wear jeans." Let me just read that because that didn't make any sense or sound right. There was a time in America when children wore jeans because parents were poor. Now parents are poor because children are wearing jeans. And that is so true. Now parents are poor because what? Let me tell you something. I went shopping with my granddaughter for her birthday in the mall, and I was looking, it's like a little, huh, I want to say teen teen on up store, and a pair of jeans started, and I was just admiring the jeans. Like, I was saying to my daughter, "Oh, these jeans look so nice. I like the style." And those pair of jeans was $85. 85. So this is a true statement. The father of a 6-year-old noticed that money was missing from his wallet and dresser top. His 6-year-old brought in a container filled with money and said, "I found it." The father was very upset and wondered why his daughter could be stealing from him. Upon further discussion, it was discovered that the parents told their daughter she could get a new bicycle when she earned $30 towards the purchase. Her weekly allowance was 50 cents, and it didn't take long to figure out that she would have to wait forever for the bike. Using her ingenuity, she figured out a way to get the bike quicker. Not wanting to start their 6-year-old on a life of crime, the parents decided to raise her allowance to $2 a week. They told her that if she put half her allowance away each week for the bike, they would match it. Then they sat down with the calendar and showed her how long it would take to save $30. They said that if she didn't want to wait that long, she can do a special job for pay that they would post on a list in the kitchen. Within a month, their child had saved the $30, and the stealing never occurred again. That is kind of hard. Um, it's manageable or easy amount to manage. Um, 50, 60 cents a week. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave that alone because just imagine with that, if it's the summer, that means you would have to wait till winter to get the bike to ride the bike when you want to ride it in the summer. To me, a lot of this stuff makes sense, but at some point in time, I would be saying, like, if I get the bike now, I'd rather get the bike for Christmas. So do you want the bike now? You want it for Christmas? Like, I would do it that way. But man, 50 cents a week. Anyway, so um, that is my reading for today. Again, we're speaking of ways to discipline our children, but in a positive way, changing the way that we are doing things to see if that would help. But that cut down on, you know, I don't know. To me, it just seemed like today these children are so depressed. There's so much going on in this world, and money come, money goes as quick as it comes. And the economy that we are all in right now, um, it's hard to set aside something extra. And sometimes we wait until the end of the year around Christmas, and then suddenly we are depressed because now we don't have the funds when you could have brought that bike 3 or 4 months ago. But as far as the allowance, uh, I don't know. 50 cents, $5 a week. I don't, to each his own. That's what I want to say. But it's a great idea to start them off small, but we all know that this day and time, there's no bike that you are going to find for $30 unless you go to the Goodwill. And that's something that we need to, teach our children also. Like, yeah, you can go get a pair of pants. Those jeans are $60 in the store. But if you go to a thrift store, then you're most likely to find those pants for 25. And so we need to teach them that. And, it's okay to go to a thrift store. Some people turn their noses up at thrift stores, and I have found some wonderful items in a thrift store. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go this weekend. And so, these are just suggestions. That's what it is. Try different ways. Try a new method. Try to include your children into this type of planning when it comes down to their allowances. Allow them to know that, we have bills. We have rent, we have water bill, we have electric bill, we have gas bill, we have food, we have to put gas in the cars, we may have insurance bills. I can only, give so much. So what do you want? What would you agree on? You know what I mean? But I think the more involved that they become when they're younger, the less likely that they are going to go out and start stealing. The ones to me that are stealing are the ones, I'm not going to even say that didn't have it, because a lot of these children now, these kids, especially these teenagers going into pre-adulthood, they just assume that they are entitled. And why do I have to work? And this is why we must implement that system of working for something. Because when they don't have those values, they are more likely to go out there and start the stealing. You see how once they see and they recognize, oh, wait a minute, you're stealing my money. They address that situation. But it was not in a hostile, violent type of solution where, give me the belt, give me the broom, give me the stick, give me a spoon, give me a glass jar. It was none of that. So when we see that our children are doing wrong, if we address the issue right there and not do it in a way that they just feel like you just cussed me out, or you just went upside my head, that puts fear. And there's nothing worse than operating from a place of fear, because guess what? That communication is shut off now, because you have shown me that any mistake that I make, your reaction would be to come down so hard on me. Now I'm afraid to do something, and I'm sure afraid to come to you with it. Again, we need to bring the village back. We're going to continue to speak about bringing back the village, being the village. And if you know that you have a little extra and you see that your neighbor, friend, family, foe, co-worker, financially they're struggling, help, please. Help out. Help out. Because we are in a time right now, whereas I just believe that the Most High, He'll put a stop to it, because we only going to go through so much. He only going to allow us to go through so much. But what He is saying is that I need my children to band together. I need you all to come together. I need that support. You need that support. Whatever you put out, I will add that back. So, again, let's continue to be that village. Let's continue to keep an eye out on each other's children. Let's continue to just keep others in our thoughts and in our prayers. Because in the end, we are going through this storm, and the storm is just beginning. But if you sow love and you sow kindness, you will reap it. You will reap it. Your harvest will be rewarding. So it is Sledge here without the Sweet Lips, because Sweet Lips has some difficulties. Hopefully tomorrow it will be a little better. And so, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get out of here.